All right, we'll call the Village Planning Commission meeting to order. Kim, if we can have a roll call, please.
Jason Holzhausen.
Here.
Maria Delkey.
Here.
Bruce Farrell.
Here.
Richard Hamilton.
Here.
Troy Newman.
Here.
Amanda Pullen.
Here.
Di Wilkie.
All right, I have the Pledge of Allegiance on our agenda.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Big crowd again tonight. That's right. I'll be in the newspaper.
All right, we have an agenda before us. Anyone got additions they'd like to make? No? Who's making that motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Support.
We have a motion with support to approve our agenda as written. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Minutes from January 2nd. Corrections, spelling corrections.
So I saw a
Comments?
meme the other day. I almost brought it in for you. It's one of those
I-
Greek philosopher guys, and it says there are two types of people in the world: those who find spelling mistakes and those who don't.
Fitting, very fitting.
So that looks good. So
All
I'll
right.
move to approve the minutes as printed. Support.
We have a motion with support to approve our minutes from January 2nd. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. There are no members of the public here. We have no current unfinished business. Mr. Powers, you have our annual report from last year.
So absolutely, Commissioners. So for any of you that may not have had is a great opportunity to look at this, there's a good amount of items in here. Section 3 does show that 2 of the commissioners their terms are going to be expiring in April of this year. Couple other things I'd like to mention too. Along with the training attended, virtual or in person, I did make a note that Richard Hamilton had attended a virtual MAP conference in October, as well as a housing summit. I had not had him included on this as being his position as the council liaison. This was intended primarily in regards to, the bylaw requirement for planning commissioners having at least, one training section per year. But, I certainly can add that to this. Is there anything that stood out to you, any comments, questions, or concerns pertaining to the subject matter of this report?
No. I actually read the whole thing too.
Thought it was done very well.
Yeah.
Done
Thank
very well.
Yeah, I looking at the just going through it, it was nice to have some accomplishments that this body did get things done last year.
So I had
Then,
a question.
The request of the board, I would, present this to the village council on your behalf, if you have no objections.
So I have a question.
Yes,
On the changes for the transitional mixed-use zoning,
yes.
is that something that the council needs to approve, or that doesn't go to council?
So that was, if, on the report, it does say that the rezoning was approved by the village council.
Okay, number 10.
That, I believe that
So it's
was
covered there.
November, the end of the last meeting, or I'm sorry, no, that was,
Okay. I just wanted, because it
Towards the end
wasn't
of
included
November.
in the actions by the council, so I didn't. is that
so
something-
this is just regarding the actions taken by the planning commission. But we do have an actual ordinance pertaining to that rezoning. that rezoning is ordinance 2135. So village council has approved that request.
Okay.
Which did council sell the empty lot yet?
232 and 33.
Did they?
Which one? we
The
talking
one
about
on
here?
Main Street.
It's not listed in item
The
number
one on Main
9,
Street?
I guess.
Yeah. I'm just asking because that'll be the first parcel in TMU to most likely get developed with the new zoning.
Oh, okay, so I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
So if you look at, my apologies, Commissioner Dalkey, if you look at line item number 10 under zoning map,
Yes.
that's where you'll find about the transitional mixed use. And Commissioner Hallhausen, yes, they did
They did sell it.
finish the sale of that lot.
I couldn't remember.
That I believe it's been recorded too with the county. That I met with the developer actually last week because he was exploring whether or not the lot could potentially be split. So we should be seeing development plans shortly. Still got some engineering aspects to figure
Yeah.
out to see whether or not they would potentially propose a split or if it would be, a single house that they, submitted to the village council at earlier meeting last year.
Okay. Well, does anybody have anything for Doug before he gives this to council? No?
I wondered, Doug, if that 2135 ought to be listed under 9,
If that should be listed under item 9.
because we did pass on that.
Add it as one more bullet point.
So yeah, I can add that there too. That's, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. The way I had done this was each one was under one item. I can certainly put it there because you're correct. That was done by the village council last year.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Good job.
Thank you.
Who are the two, their term is up in April?
So the two members that are up
Apparently me.
in April are Commissioner Hallhausen as well as Commissioner Newman.
Oh, it means I'm gonna have to do paperwork to stay, aren't I?
I think I only
Your term is up in 2026.
Did you? You may have.
Yeah.
All right.
At the time of expiration, is this going to open public again and reapply for it?
You will, yeah, so I would have to reapply with the standard application. As far as I know, Richard, you can correct me, but council plans on at least advertising, at least online,
Yeah.
when expirations come
Right.
up, just so the public's aware that if somebody else is interested, because village president could tell me to go away if he wanted to, if he had
No.
found a better candidate.
You're not going away.
No, you're not. For my sake, you're not.
Not gonna kick us out.
I believe Kim can follow up with the affected commissioners by email regarding what the process is for.
Is the form online?
It is, yeah. And so you would have to, if you wanted to come back, you would just have to fill out that application. And then, yes, it would go open to the public also, but there is an application online too. You can either pick one up in the office or do it online.
All right. We have correspondence from the village attorney. Role and responsibilities of elected and appointed officials in the village of Middleville.
So these were originally, there was a couple items that were submitted to the village council for discussion earlier this year for training purposes. Just a couple things, that apply to the plan commission. Obviously, item B being, plan commission's roles in regards to what it is that you actually do. Adopting master plan and amendments to master plan, recommends the zoning ordinance and amendments, recommends rezoning of lands, approves special uses, attends matters assigned by village council and recommends plats and site condos. There are a good amount of items in here that I do believe are worth reviewing, but the one that, I wanted to bring to your attention was the Roman numeral 2, the conduct of elected and appointed officials in regards to public hearings. So if or when we are, intending to have a public hearing, this is a good, item to review at that time. A later item does talk about conflicts of interest. That this gives some good information, but for any of you that may not recall, we do have a conflicts of interest and ethical issues spelled out in our bylaws that tell us how to handle such issues. Of course, if you ever do have a concern that there may be a conflict of interest in any petition that's coming before the Plan Commission, reach out to me as soon as possible. So that way, we can make sure that we do have enough board members and there isn't any possible issue or hindrance to any, petition moving forward. There is a good amount of information in here. I don't know if anyone has any questions pertaining to any of these. I don't
I
want to be redundant and read everything, especially if it's something that you've already reviewed. Yes.
So Roman number 3, Open Meetings Act on page 8.
Yes.
Open Meeting and Freedom of Information Act. Item under number 2, A2, item D and E are duplicates of each other. Now, I don't know if this is pulled from the Michigan code or if this is from the attorney or,
So this was drafted by the attorney.
okay.
So why those are duplicates?
Oh, I know, it's copy and paste error.
Yeah.
I
don't
yeah,
know.
I would not be able to answer that at this time.
Yeah, so I just like, if it's in the code that way, then it should be corrected, but if it's just a legally.
No, so in
Changed it or something.
I'll look into this too, to make sure to get that, this is a copy and paste here. But generally, this is pertaining to, FOIA requests and, right, not just the Open Meetings Act, which is in regards to how these meetings are posted and conducted and made available to the public, but as well as the rights of the public in being able to acquire information. So a lot of this isn't something that goes before the Plan Commission. This is something that tends to be handled administratively in regards to making sure that the people have access to information that they have the right to know while protecting personal and private information as needed.
That was the only thing that I saw that, wasn't a spelling error, but.
Any other questions, comments? All right. The ordinance committee, you guys haven't met recently, have you?
No.
No, okay, so no committee reports. Great. That moves us on to the administrator's report.
Yay.
Hawthorne, that's the new street in Seneca, isn't it?
That is correct.
Okay.
So that is part of phase 2.
I saw a basement go in.
So yes, it's obviously, now the plat has been finalized and approved at the state level. We're currently, or the county is currently in the process of trying to update the GIS because it doesn't have the appropriate parcel information available online as of yet. It may still show it as one large piece of land, but that is in the process of being updated. The other properties you're probably aware of. But yes, Seneca Ridge Phase 1 is rapidly coming close. I believe it's the second to last lot. I just did final inspections to be able to release the C of O. I believe there's only one more house in Phase 1.
So they sell them about as fast as they can build them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think phase 1, there's only one empty lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's almost completed. Couple other items, that there is a council committee evaluating parking regulations within Misty Ridge and Rolling Oaks. That's anticipated to go to the council at the last meeting of this month, so February 28th, regarding what those recommendations look like. The Mid Villa, any of you that haven't been by there, it is moving at a fairly decent pace.
They've got it all staked out, I see, and
They've got it staked
a
out.
couple
They
pieces of equipment.
They've got equipment out there. They're in the process of trying, that we had our pre-construction meeting where they know what, is needed in order to move forward, that they're trying to get the legals done in regards to the plating as well as, other various items. So this is at different stages, but anticipate hearing more in upcoming months. Because we're in the process of finalizing that development agreement. Beyond this site, hopefully this isn't premature, but Baby Bliss, there should be a demo crew out there either this Friday or Monday, next Monday starting work.
They're running behind, I think.
A little.
Supposed to be January, I thought.
Yes, that we were originally told it was going to be in December by Christmas. And then they've had some delays and weather related as well as others. But that is the most recent communication I had earlier today, that they're anticipating having the demolition guy out there at Friday or next Monday at the latest.
Okay.
So maybe tomorrow.
Yay.
Anyone have any questions about any of those items or anything else?
Doug,
Yes.
do we have when they start progress up at Midville, do we have a point in time where we do kind of a site review of what's going on, or who looks after that?
So it depends on what you're talking about. So in most aspects, it tends to be the engineer, because the engineer works with them in regards to how the infrastructure is being, put in. We certainly review any site plans or any, proposed improvements, but the general on-site day-to-day tends to be more engineering. So the part of the pre-construction process that we determine what the potential cost could be to the village engineer or his designated staff. So that way, there's no potential hiccups or delays with the project.
Oh, excuse me.
All right.
We've only done a preliminary site plan, haven't we?
Yeah, there'll be
Gotta be
final
something
site
else.
plans for
Yeah.
when, because when
So
they've
we
got.
looked at phase one, but we didn't have any information for what any of the other sites were, because you had previously seen plans for a different proposed use, but that's not able to be approved, so.
No, there'll be stuff to come.
Yeah.
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 All right, we have the code enforcement officer's report. Questions or comments to pass along?
I have a question on the parking on the right of way. The resolution is waiting for a code change. Is that like the seasonal flip?
So, no,
Is that-
so what this is that the way our ordinance is written is that issues associated with the right-of-way, generally needing to be handled in an imminent manner, tend to be the responsibility of the village manager, the street administrator, or the Berry County Sheriff's Department. Code enforcement tends to deal with issues outside of the right-of-way, not needing an imminent response, because any of those individuals can potentially have vehicles towed if needed. Like I believe what you were alluding at, if there's interruption in service because they're not able to plow the streets, the vehicle may need to be relocated. So that's what this was getting at, along with discuss the ground cover ordinance that was presented last year. So he's waiting for direction on whether or not the proposed parking regulations may require some changes in how we currently handle issues. But one of those addresses that there was concerns about there potentially being too many residents or families for a single-family dwelling, but that was not able to be verified or validated. So there's a good chance that at the next meeting, all those items may be removed from the report.
All right. All right. There are still no members of the public here. So, commissioner comments. Folks?
Right adjusted too. I had baby bliss in the middle.
I was excited to see when the equipment got dropped off. That's a sign to the public of progress is being
Right,
made when a
right.
bulldozer shows up.
There's a crane
Hmm?
there. There's a crane there now too.
Yeah, there's a track hoe and the bulldozer. Yeah.
The Baby Bliss thing, there were a couple of guys in here at one point in time making a proposal for housing done through there. Is anything come of that at all?
There's nothing's been submitted, has
So there were petitioners that came before the village, but they did not move forward with that property. The property hasn't changed ownership. That property is currently listed for sale.
You three? No? That's it? I don't have anything either, so I will make the motion that we adjourn.
Support?
We have a motion with support for adjournment. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned.
It didn't come anywhere near the record.
Yay.